Hello, and welcome back to the stream. We are back. It is good to be back, and it feels good to have a... Sorry, I'm just sorting out the camera. It feels good to be back and streaming, and it feels good to have a Wednesday evening where I can sit down and just talk again. So it feels nice to be back. I don't know how many people are out there. Probably not a lot, but it doesn't matter. So we do have a few new subscribers from BSC, and we'll get into that in a minute, but I just want to welcome any new subscribers that are here. So welcome, thank you for subscribing. If you do want to know more about the live streams and YouTube videos in general, follow me on Instagram, where I do behind the scenes content and behind the scenes videos when I'm on set and doing jobs. And we also have a group chat on the Instagram account where you can join, and I can send in live updates on when I'm live, when I'm not going to be live, and when I'm doing certain YouTube videos and what YouTube videos are in the pipelines, new products that I've got, and more of a personal touch. So feel free to join that if you're interested and want to learn more. And once again, during the stream, you can call in live with any questions you have regarding what I'm talking about, products, cameras, lighting. If you've got any questions or any topics, or if you want to debate me, feel free to do so. If you are new here as well, I'm an aspiring cinematographer, videographer, editor, producer. I've done all bits and bobs, but primarily I do cinematography and camera work, and a freelance camera operator. So that's a bit about me. So, main thing that I want to talk about, I'm going to switch to my full screen, is my experience with BSC, and, hold on, oh my god. Is my experience with BSC and how I found it. So first of all, big shout out to Ollie Shafto for helping me film it. He was huge help. There he is on screen now. He was great, and so thank you, Ollie, for helping me shoot it. He was great, and also we had a good time. We had a really good time. So I found this event. It's much smaller than IBC, the one in Amsterdam that covers all of Europe, and people from the UK come to IBC. It's huge event, much bigger than this. This BSC, this is the first time I went to BSC, and it had a much more personal touch because it is much smaller, and because it's so much smaller, the focus is cinematography. That is its focus. With IBC, there's like a huge zone just for audio, just for TV production, specifically TV production. But with BSC, it's, again, smaller, but it's for cinematographers, so by cinematographers, for cinematographers. It's the British Cinematography Society, I believe. I think that's what it stands for. It's a huge organisation, but small event compared to IBC. And because of that, I found it, I don't want to say better, but I found that who I was talking to and what I saw all had very specific things that were interesting to me, and it was a little bit more focused. But the people that I met there were so much. It's always so much fun going to the events. Even if you do it on a casual level, filming and video and photography, I still do recommend going. It's always free to go to these events, and they're always so much fun. I forgot to mention as well, the chat will be live. I can see it. I'm assuming you can see it on. Yeah, you can see it on screen. The chat is live, so if you want to drop something into the chat about, again a question, you don't have to call in on the number that's that way. Anyway, so yeah, even if you do it casually, I do recommend doing it because there's all these new products that are coming out, and it's good to get ahead of it and just to see what's available out there. And also you learn a lot at these events, especially when you talk to people and you talk to the stands, and you say like, what, even I know that this is a probe lens, by looking at it, and that it's the machine's doing its thing. But it's good to like ask these people at these stands. This guy is the guy, I can't remember his name now, but he owns the arm that's moving, and he's got a partnership with Desido lenses, specifically this probe lens. So you got the monitor in the background, just getting these really cool shots that you wouldn't be able to do anywhere else. I'm not just going to sit here and just watch the video and just talk you through it. I just wanted to very briefly go through my experience, just the key moments of it, and just my recommendations going to these events. So this is another recommendation: is you learn, you see things that you wouldn't otherwise see on jobs that you do on your own. The fact that this little device, I can't remember what it's called. What's it called? Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think it's like. Oh, I'm not even going to try. Either way, but what it does, it takes the sensor off of the Sony Venice's body. Or I think that was a Sony Venice. Yeah, if I remember, it's a Sony Venice. It takes the sensor off the Sony Venice and just puts it into that little compact, basically sensor body. And because of that, you can put it in really weird, interesting places that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. Which I kind of knew that stuff like that existed, but when you see it in person, you're like, that's so cool. You know, that is really cool for professional people who are in the professional video space. And this guy was saying about how you could do it on, you know, with bands, attach it to like guitars, and have the power of the Sony Venice, which is incredible. But more specifically, which I think for me this is a bit of a highlight, is the POV Cyclops system. Fast forward when he puts it on, but that is a great example. Having the power of the Sony Venice 1 and 2, detaching the sensor and having it on this Cyclops thing, and having like this really stunning shot that's a POV. And if you haven't watched the video, we discussed how when you're looking at it, and obviously I was looking at it, you can see his eyes really clearly. So if there was like a really strong performance, a really powerful performance that required this kind of POV movement, you could the actor doesn't lose that focus because you're looking at someone's eyes, you're not looking at a lens. Because it's very, I just tried to do it now, it's very unnatural to look into a lens and talk. The human body just can't, the human mind just struggles with it. But being able to see someone's human eye and human eyes, it makes it a lot easier. So that was the point I was making. But really, and I didn't try it on, but he did say it's like really light. It's really lightweight, so it's not hurting your neck or anything. You don't have to be necessarily a professional to use it. Yeah, I thought, and also another thing he was saying about how you can see the image that it's projecting as the operator, which I thought was so cool. Being able to put that on, seeing what you're looking at and seeing what image you're capturing, and having a wireless feed to that big monitor. Super cool. And if I didn't go to this event, I never would have known that was a thing. You know, I kind of knew it was a thing. I knew it was a thing for the Sony FX3, and I knew it was a thing for smaller cameras. But the fact that he detached it from the Sony Venice and having that power, from that camera. Another thing, I don't really want to sit here and just talk all through what happened. This again was a highlight. Okay, oh, it was all a highlight. That's what I'm saying. It was all a highlight. It was all good. I'm going through it and I'm like, what was, what was not good. But okay, I don't want to spend the whole stream just talking about it. So this another thing was Fuji's, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the first Fujifilm's first cinema camera, or it was their first like proper professional cinema camera. And this gentleman was talking to me about it, and we were both just getting really excited. I could tell that he was very passionate about cameras in general, same as me. So this was a really good chat, and for a moment I completely forgot that we were doing, we were being filmed, and it just turned into a conversation. I was just listening to what he was saying. From what I heard, it's very similar to the PYXIS camera, very similar to the PYXIS camera, but obviously a more powerful camera. If I remember, it had built-in variable NDs that he was telling me. That's all a huge, plus. And I think built-in variable NDs. I'm gonna look. Yeah, built-in. It says built-in variable ND filters. That's so good. The camera obviously is much more expensive than the PYXIS camera. I'm not, I'm not saying it's on the same level. And I even said to him, I said, I know it's not on the same level as what this is, but I have a PYXIS 6K. And he said, no, the PYXIS 6K is a fantastic camera. So, it's great for people who are beginning. And it's great to learn cinema cameras, like SDI protocol and things like that. But he was saying to me, it's got a large sensor. It's got Netflix approved, which is incredible. It's got what was really cool about it is the 2 monitors on either side, so that you could have maybe, I don't know, an operator and then a first AC on the other side. The fact you got 2 monitors on either side, that's so good. That's really good. And it's one of those things that you don't think would be helpful, but it is helpful, or I could imagine it would be helpful. So it comes with, if I remember, he said that it comes in one package, which is the body, the monitor, and I believe not the top handle. I need to rewatch the video and because I did ask the question. But it's really affordable data storage. Doesn't consume as loads of power. So, the price was, if I believe it was somewhere around 15 grand or 11 grand. Okay, so that's from Wex. That's the camcorder. Is that the same one? Yeah, see, okay, so we're talking around, it says here 14 grand. This must be the same one. Is that the same one? Yeah, the Eterna 55 camcorder. So yeah, you're talking around 14 grand, which, you know what, for everything that it does, it's not bad. I understand that the price is that because it's one of their first. I think it is their first cinema camera, but that's a really good price point. And looking at the footage, you can see behind the guy, the TV, the screen was playing like footage from it. These images, it must have been a 4K monitor. These images looked so nice. They were color graded really nicely. They had like texture in the image. I don't know what lenses they were being shot on. Image looked fantastic, and I get why at the end of the day it's Netflix approved. But talking to this guy was a big highlight. Just talking to him about this new release and the fact that it's their first cinema, if not their first, one of their first cinema cameras. It's really exciting to see Fuji. Obviously they've got like a long legacy, they've got history. It's not good to see them entering a different realm of, not just photography and not just camcorder video. It's good to see them approach this cinema camera world and doing these affordable cinema cameras. I've always said that after the Blackmagic PYXIS 6K, it would be possibly a red camera next. And when I say next, I mean like years away, like 5-6 years later, but who knows, maybe Fuji release something that's really good. I mean, the built-in variable ND filters alone is really good, so yeah, I'd love to be able to shoot on this video. So those are my highlights for BSC. Great event, incredible people, and there's a lot that happens that you don't see, behind when the camera's not rolling. Is just a lot of networking, a lot of chatting. It's a very intense day, so you find a lot of people at the pub afterwards just having a drink, and that is part of networking, is just hanging out and having a drink. But this is something as well. Actually, no, we'll wait on this. But maybe not a highlight, but something that was really cool is I actually met Brady. I met this guy, which was really weird because I watch him whilst I edit. He's a really big YouTuber in the filmmaking space. He does all sorts of videos, and they're always very good and high quality videos. Nearly 1 million views. Not that it's about the views, but you know what I mean. He's got huge following, but he's very talented, and when I was leading up to buying the PYXIS, it was his video that I watched. I don't want to play any of his videos in case it gets copyrighted, but yeah, it was his videos that I watched when building up to buying the PYXIS 6K, and and so he was I don't want to say inspiration, that seems a little bit too intense, but it was his videos that I thought were the most valuable when building up to the PYXIS. And I understand there's a whole debate about, is a product review if it's getting, given, and clearly it was a huge advertisement from Blackmagic, and there's nothing wrong with that, because all the points that he made were fair and are true to the camera. Either way, met him at the pub, shook his hand. We didn't talk. We didn't talk really at all. But he was still with us, and I just thought that was really cool. That was really interesting for me personally. It, again, huge benefit to go to these events is that you see these high profile people walking around. And he posted a story. I only saw it after the next day. He said, meet and greet at this pub, and some people did come over and, talk to him. And I was, these events are intense. So I was sort of done when it comes going to sleep now, but I will leave this open for the algorithm push. Thank you, James. How many people are here? Let me know how many people are here. Cheeky bugger. So what was I saying? Yeah, so he put up a story, so I only saw it the next day, but he put up a story about meet and greet. So he did want people, but these events are intense, so I didn't want to go up and talk to him too much. But this was it was cool. It was cool. So next time these events go up, don't be lazy. Go to these events, because you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know who you're going to network with. So many. Thank you. Oh, Oliver, the boys are here. Just me and Oliver. No. Joking. So that leads me on to the product recall, and what this means for Blackmagic. There's actually two points for this topic. The product, so PYXIS 12K got recalled because of sensor problems. Do you have a big time delay on stream? So the product recall, so what was going on takes ages to appear on screen. What takes ages to appear on screen? What does? I'm not showing anything. So there was a few problems, and I wanted to talk to the guy at Blackmagic, even if it is a bit of a sour topic. I still think it's important to talk to them, but they were just very busy, and you had to book in a date and book in a slot to do an interview, and I didn't. Normally I don't, but I think I just hit a very busy period, and it was near the end of the day, so he didn't really want to talk. Don't worry, have fun. Yeah, the comment. There is like a little bit of a delay. I have to like sort of keep refreshing it. I think it comes up on the actual stream, but when it comes up on this little thing, I have to refresh it, because that's what happened last time. But it doesn't matter. No one cares. No one's watching. What was I saying? Yeah. So the guy didn't want to talk, but I did want to talk to him. But unfortunately, he was just busy. So what's happened is there's this flickering effect that's happening, I believe, in the shadows of the sensor, and it's these lines that are, drifting across the frame in the shadows on a few of, well, it says here approximately 10% of cameras. Either way, I think this is really, really bad. I think people say, it's not that big of a deal. I think it is a bit of a big deal, because if you've got a choice between a Sony FX3 and a PYXIS, or a PYXIS and, I don't know, another box style camera that you're looking at, and you're literally on the fence, and then you see something like this, and you see this is going to cost them a lot of money, and I think it is really, really bad from them. Because as well, there was another issue. I heard again, this is rumours, so it's like I don't want to say this is what happened. But the rumour was that people's files they were recording on SSDs or recording on data media cards, and then they clicked cut, and then they went to playback, and the footage never existed. It never went onto the card. Again, rumours, but it seems like this 10% of these PYXIS 12Ks are just completely fucked, for lack of a better word, which is a problem, because again, Blackmagic provides some really affordable cameras, but at good quality. But stuff like this is why people get so dodgy about Blackmagic, and they would rather get Sony cameras. And that's why people shift towards Sony, is because their usability. If you're on a big shoot that's 20 grand budgets, 15 grand budgets, and stuff like this is happening, that's a serious problem. And so what they've done, what's happening here is it looks like their lack of reliability is now plummeted down. The new generation of filmmakers are coming out, and the PYXIS 12K got huge praise when it came out, and they'll probably do a PYXIS Pro. But it's almost like if there was a PYXIS Pro that came out, I'd want to get it, but stuff like this would just be like, I don't know if I'd want to. There is also an additional problem with some customers who experienced the issue, had their cameras replaced by releases serial number batch. These cameras also exhibit the same problem. This means we cannot be confident in any camera that shipped before this serial number and have decided to recall them. We have redesigned the sensor board. Yeah, it was something to do with the sensor board to fix this problem. This new sensor board is revision B. Again, nobody cares if it's revision A or B, they just want it to work. This means the camera can be improved, upgrade. Availability and price. Sensor board upgrade or replacement camera. Oh god, see, this is so crazy to me that you'd have to send your camera back. What if you've got a list of clients and this problem's happening? For a second I was just like, God, is this like a potential problem for all cameras? But it's just the PYXIS 12K. So 6K is good. This is, again, you got to remember the PYXIS 6K. It was literally 8 months until they released this camera. It seems like they've rushed this job a little bit. They've rushed the PYXIS 6K to the 12K. They just wanted to get something out there for NAB, and I think they're a huge sponsor for NAB, so they wanted to do something big, relatively speaking. But yeah, interesting. And there was another issue that Blackmagic had. Again, rumours that I've seen on threads and things. People are saying that their footage, they can't access their projects from the DaVinci Cloud. Huge problem. You've got client deadlines. You need to send client deadlines, or you need to meet those client deadlines, and then all of a sudden you can't access your project in DaVinci Cloud. Huge problem. Blackmagic need to really sort this out, and for people who have who have sent off their cameras for recall, I think they deserve some form of compensation, to be honest. You buy a $3,500 camera, the PYXIS 12K I think is more than that. I think it's like nearly 4K. You spend $4,000 on a camera, and then all of a sudden you're being told, oh, the circuit board's buggered, we need to replace it. They need some compensation. I think it's really bad. How long have we been going? Oh, it's a little bit. My connections. Oh, there you go. 23 minutes. God. Okay. So, what else did I? Oh yeah, we'll do that at the end. So, Iron Lung. This is something that Markiplier, the YouTuber, I think primarily gaming YouTuber. Gaming YouTuber has done a film. I believe he produced. Did he direct it? He's produced. Is that his real name? Yeah, written by. I think this is him. This is like. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is real. Yeah, that's okay. So written and directed by this so-called gaming YouTuber, and it's doing really well. I know that reviews here don't look great, but I've heard people say really good things about it, and it's a really good film. Again, people who do these reviews, and they this is the rating they give it. Sometimes they don't realise that these are indie films. They're not like these big films. So you need to change your perspective and see it, like it's an indie film from this individual. It's not, obviously it's through a studio and funding and things like that, but these are an indie film. But yeah, what I've heard like other people and other YouTubers just say how good it is. So I think that's, this is potentially just the first of what we're seeing, and this is the importance of building an audience up, and then you don't have to be pigeonholed into one thing. He's a gaming YouTuber. Doesn't mean you have to do it. He has the audience. He's got the money. He could get funding. He's written it. He's put the work in. He's written this, and directed it, and it's doing well. And apparently it's the box office and in its financial return is also doing really well. So it's almost like, is this the future of independent filmmaking? Is just building, you got things like TikTok, Instagram, all sorts of social media platforms, like YouTube. Is this a future which is building a audience first, a loyal audience that would watch stuff that you do and really like the stuff that you do? build interest, with Patreon and get some funding involved, and then maybe pitch to higher investors and say, look, I've got this big audience of, even 100,000 people. I know that's not a lot, I know, but let's say you got 200,000 people, who are all invested in this film, and you say, look, it's going to cost, I don't know, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand to make. Investors might put that money in because they know if you've got 200,000 people, they'll potentially, pay £5, £10, £15 to watch the film. So, yeah, it's interesting. I just thought that this was really interesting, the fact that a YouTuber who's a gaming YouTuber has written and directed a film that is doing very well. It's a really hard thing to do, and yet he's done it. And I do want to watch this film. There's this one, and there was another YouTuber as well. I think the director was Danny something. He also did a film called I Think I'm Sick. I think it was called. It was like I think I'm sick. And let me try and find it if the ads don't go away. Yeah, I Think I'm Sick was also a YouTuber, and it's on my to watch list on Prime, Amazon Prime, and it's like, I don't know, like £6 to watch. He's also a YouTuber, but he's a filmmaking YouTuber, so it's a tad different. But filmmaking YouTuber, but he did a film, and the trailers look really good. It's got 7 out of 10. They look great. So yeah, and I hope that, yeah, there you go, Danny. I hope that it's turning a profit. I'm sure it is. But yeah, I want to watch that. I just think it's cool seeing directors come out in unusual places, and the power that YouTube has. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, this is your sign to do it, because these people as well, they're like much older than me, and they've been doing it for years. So it's like, you might as well start now. Start now, building it up, and you never know. Even if you're 50 years old, and you're like 55 or whatever, your channel might be so much bigger than what it is now, because you've done it for literally 20, 25, 30 years. If you're 20, even if however old you are, start now, because you just never know where it might go. Yeah, that's cool. So another thing from BSC that I thought was interesting, and it's something that I want to talk about, is I saw Iron Glass. I'm going to go back to these guys, then I'll go to their website. So this is Iron Glass, and what they do, they take I actually think I spoke about this in the previous stream, I can't remember, but what they do, they get vintage lenses, vintage glass, the Helios, for example, which is the vintage lens that I've got downstairs. What they do, they get these vintage lenses from photography days, from the 60s, the 70s, and they put them in rehoused cinema lenses that are more designed for cinema use, and but they keep the characteristics of these older lenses. Really, really cool. So that's what Iron Glass do, and it was a pleasure to meet these guys, and I followed all of them on Instagram. And I actually messaged them like years ago saying, like, could you rehouse my Helios, and I'll do, I'm doing a film from it, and I want to showcase it. But unfortunately, the film didn't go through. And unfortunately, they actually stopped replying. But I understand that they do a lot of collaborations, and I was much smaller back then than I am now. So I understand, I get it. Anyway, what they've done is they've actually designed and structured their own cinema lens range. It's called the Iron Glass Air, because it's super light. You've got loads of focal, different focal lengths. How many? I want to see. Hopefully, there's a list. They are quite spenny. I was surprised at how expensive they are, but I get it. I do get it. As in, they cost a lot to make. They're very niche, because they're vintage. They're designed vintage lenses, but they're also modern and they're brand new. So there's a lot going into it. But for me, what's important is L mount. Shame that there's no EF mount. that's a shame. And that's, I guess, you could get L mount to EF adapters. Oh no, sorry. By default, all air lenses are assembled in E mounts. Oh, so okay, E mount. So there's a variation of EF, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good to see that L mount is getting more and more traction. I'm seeing more and more lenses just be L mount, everything's L mount, which is good. Good to see. And I much prefer if, just those adapters make things easier. But it was really cool. I want the bokeh. When I saw it, on screen, the bokeh. I'll pause. I'll see if my video. I can't remember if I did it or not. It's always hard with these events because it's like I want to clip footage that they're capturing, but it's always awkward to do that. But the bokeh, and I know this is like broken record, but the bokeh around it with these lenses was just really nice. The highlights were nice and creamy on people's faces, so it wasn't overly sharp like most of Sigma lenses. But with these lenses, it was like you're still getting that character, but at the same time you could shoot this. Could you shoot this for a corporate gig? Possibly not, because it's maybe a little bit too creative, and you get some really nice flaring and things like that. I mean, if the commercial job is what's it? If the commercial job is stylized, then it would be great to use these, But yeah, again, the channel gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm really hoping that I would then feel more confident reaching out and be like, hey, look, I've got this film coming up, and I want to shoot the whole film on these lenses. Can you just send me out and let me keep like a few for free? That would be incredible. And hopefully they will, but again, that's in the future. So, so how long are we going? 32 minutes. Okay. So, before I get into just general chit chat, I've sort of I've been hesitant to talk about AI. I have not spoken about AI on the channel at all. I haven't spoken about AI on Instagram. I haven't mentioned it on TikTok. I've been very, just sort of seeing where it goes. It's not the fact that I haven't used it. It's not the fact that I haven't necessarily embraced it. It's just, I just feel like everyone was talking about it at the time, and it was just such a broken record, and I didn't want to just do the same thing that everyone else is doing and talk about it. So now I feel like it's the right time, and certain things are coming out, like Higgsfield, that are very, very interesting. So Higgsfield is an AI platform, but it's very specific. Not very specific, but I think it is it's more targeted at filmmakers and creators, content creators. We need to stop this attitude of like, oh, content creation is bad, because content creation is so important, and just storytelling in general. So what it does, it provides, and I'm still on the fence to get a subscription. I haven't got a subscription, but basically, we know what AI does. But with this, you can actually change. I've seen they've done like huge collaborations with a ton of other YouTubers recently. Why is that not? Okay, so normally, maybe because I've got it on a dodgy screen, or maybe I have to pick the. What? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a bit weird. So you actually change the camera, okay? And I haven't got the subscription, so I don't know how well this works, because you can see I need like 2 credits. So it just says full frame cinema digital camera, so I think that's just really generic. But you can set the camera, you can set warm cinema lenses, swirly bokeh portraits, just very generic stuff. But I think there was a time where you could actually pick the specific lens: classic anamorphic, 70s cinema, extreme macro, compact anamorphic, creative tilt lens. And then you can pick the focal length and then the aperture, so how shallow you want the shot. This is, I remember seeing this being like, this is really nuts. And how long is it going to be until you can upload a shot and be like, turn this to a 50mm. I prefer this shot as a 50mm. Can you turn it into a 50mm? And it'll do it. But really cool I think this is what I'm more interested in with Higgs field, is the fact that it's targeted at people like me. And I probably, let's say that this will be good for, I saw an example, it was like, let's say you've got a really quick insert shot, it's like super quick, because it's like from someone's memory. And what they did, they did a shot of a young girl walking through a field of corn, on holiday or something, as a memory. She died. And they did that, and you could still tell it was AI, because currently you very, very slightly. It was a quick insert shot, and then he added loads of film LUTs to it. He added loads of film grain, loads of lens flaring, loads of because it was like a memory. So he added loads of styling to it through AI and through other external effects that you can do. And then he did that, and then he changed it to a wider shot. He did all of this, and it was like, you can change the batch size, you can change how many variations there are, and we'll go into it in a minute, but I'll go into it now. You can create characters. So you can actually create like a character, and then create like a film, like a short film from a character. This is so wild to me, the fact that the possibilities of where this could go. You can upload photos or... Oh no, okay, so let's say you get an actor or someone who's nuts. This is nuts. You can get a photo of someone, multiple ones, upload it, and it will create a character. Again, I'm really sorry, I don't know how well it will work, because I'm still on the fence whether to get a subscription. It was £70 a month for the proper, so that's the annual one. The month one, £50. Oh man, that's not... It's just, the only thing is, I don't know when I would use it. That's where I'm struggling to wrap my head around it, is when I would use it. Is when I would use it. I mean, that's not creator for experts, scaling productions to the max, smart choice for pros, creating daily. See, I wouldn't need it daily. Anyway, obviously you've got, the image, you can see here all of the image, ultra realistic fashion visuals, popcorn, storyboard. This is where I would possibly use it the most, is storyboarding and pre-production, and just speeding up that going on set and uploading images, from the recce, and doing it like that. That's where it would be really useful. And look, even like changing the aspect ratio for the client. Manual, right, what happens in a scene. This is really cool, is the pre-production stuff. And then, creating a visual mood board of your film. And then video, you've got Kling 3.0, Kling 2.6, mixed cinema studio, which is what we went on. Edit videos, you can edit sequences, and things like that. Look at trends, lip sync, you can export DOP. Okay, this is cool. I can't choose generate video. Yeah, so I saw someone use it for transitions. These like quick little transitions for a fashion video. That's another example of when to use it and how you could use it as a filmmaker. Yeah, they also did the largest. This is also interesting. They did the largest prize competition for an AI competition ever. First place gets 150 grand, which is really good. Honourable mentions 20, and that's 10 grand. Ends in 11 days. Projects 4,000 people. My goodness, that is nuts. That is really nuts. Thing is, if I watch them, are they gonna... Okay, I'll have this on in the background. But this is... I'm scared. I don't think it will get copyrighted. It's fine, and if it does, I'll blur it after, or I'll just leave it. It's fine. So this looks like it's got the most. It was like 93%. So this looks like it could be the winner. This is all. Yeah. See, I'm sort of just found myself just watching it. This is all. I just don't understand how to do this. But I should really, I should really do a course and see if this is useful. Because what if a client wants a video like that? It's a grape. It's a client for grapes. You do something like this. However, the issue that I was going to get into is all of this still costs money. You look at it generates you need credits to generate stuff, and I feel like Higgsfield, this is just the start of it. I feel like Higgsfield are going to start, expanding and going public and things. And this could be like one of those businesses that you see, almost like Google. When .com was happening and the internet was happening, Google was new, and that was like obviously very small. A couple of people were talking about it, and then Google just blew up into this big thing. Is this going to be the same thing for filmmakers? Higgsfield is like this slightly unknown thing, and then all of a sudden it becomes this huge platform that everybody knows for content. No more. Yeah, so cool. I do think it's cool, like stuff like this, because it's still creative and it's still telling a story, but only 3 minutes long. I don't know if it would hold someone for very long. Yeah. Okay. I don't think anyone's watching. Oh, this is still playing in the back. Okay, how long have we been going for? Oh, okay, 42 minutes. Okay, I'll sort of. I was meant to do it at the start of the stream, and I think it's just healthy to explain that these streams aren't just all, look at me all the time, look at what I'm doing. I want to see what you guys are doing, and I want to know what you guys are working on. What new clients have you got? What new bit of kit have you got that you're excited to talk about? Let me know in the chat, and call in live as well, and like talk to me through what kit you've got. Talk to me through what new clients that you're excited to shoot with. Because I want the live stream specifically to be more community and be more like, oh, what have you been doing? What have I been doing? Like, how could we help each other? So my update, my work, my work update is work is starting to pick up again, which is really, really good. This has been the quietest January, or the quietest beginning of a year ever since I've been doing this, which multiple factors. You got things like the economy is just terrible. Everyone I've spoken to right now is bad. You've got people wanting to see how AI works. So the thing is, people think that all of this AI stuff is free and that it just works and it's so affordable and easy to do. And but the thing is, it's not. These AI videos they do take some level of time to do. There was like a huge it was like a lemonade ad, and it was all AI. It took like 4 months to make, and it was like a 3-minute ad. That took 4 months to make. And the point I'm trying to make, and it all costs money. Like I said, the credits to generate credits. So I am slowly starting to integrate things like this into my work, because you need to keep up to date with it. Maybe if there's like you tell a story with a client, and then you then want to insert like a shot, like the shot I just saw there, like the guy coming through the car. If you want to add the shot that you couldn't do logistically without a crew of 30 people and health and safety issues, that's where it would be useful. But like I said, it costs money, and I want to start. Maybe sometime soon I'll get a subscription and just start using it and seeing how it works for like 3 months trial, and see if there's any usability in it. Another thing as well in regards to work, I'm starting to pick up things. People are starting to want 3-minute long videos again. There's just been a few clients where they're like, we want to do some like case study videos with our clients, and I think that possibly there's a fatigue shift of people getting sick and tired of the quick, snappy content all the time, where everything's so quick all the time. It's sometimes a little bit overwhelming. I think there is a slight fatigue there, because marketing agencies, that's all they... And there's nothing... I don't think there's anything wrong. I would say 70% of what I do is 9x16 content, is delivering for those social videos and events and things like that. So, social. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's a medium. But I do think that there is it's balancing it out again, where the fatigue is happening, where everyone's like, oh, social. We just want to pump out 10 videos all the time. But then they pump out all these videos, and they're not getting the attraction that they necessarily want. That they're not getting the runtime. So I am seeing a shift in clients wanting 6-minute long videos, 5-minute long videos, 3-minute long videos for YouTube, in 16:9 format, which is really good to see. And I was quite shocked, because they were like, we want to take some time with the interviews and tell a story with the interviews. And I was like, this is fantastic. This is great. This is exactly what I studied for. This is exactly what I trained for. This is why I bought the camera, was to spend time lighting the interviews and getting the answers that you want from human beings. I feel like that's another thing that people are sort of looking for and craving, is just human beings and human stories that people are telling. The client it's a charity client, and they do like activities for young people that wouldn't necessarily be able to do that because of just issues that they're having. And that's the charity. And yeah, they want, like, the person who runs it, they want to tell his story, and they want to get people's stories involved in the video, which I think what social media is lacking in some regard, because they think that everything's got to be snappy, but then because it's snappy, it doesn't fit the vibe of quite a personal story. So yeah, that's everything really. Like I said, I want this place to be not just me talking about my work. I want you guys to get involved as well. I want to know what you guys are up to. New clients, new kit that you've got. Okay, it's now 47 minutes. I don't see the point in stretching it out to 50 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up now. There you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know how many people are here. Thank you, James. Thank you, Oliver, for your comments. I don't know if you're still here or if you've tuned off. But I am gonna wrap it up. Like I said at the beginning, I'm an aspiring cinematographer in and around London. You can follow me on Instagram up there, where I post behind the scenes content on sets that I'm shooting on. And we have a group chat in there as well, where you can join, and you can get up to dates when the lives are, when new YouTube videos are coming out, when YouTube video ideas are in the pipeline, and things like that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end it there. And I will hopefully I won't be streaming next week. I'm going to take another, just because work. I'm actually working, so next week's not happening. However, the following week I'm going to try and get someone to come into the stream for an interview, like we did with Isaac, and just to do something a bit different possibly, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you not next week, but the week following. I have got a YouTube video that I'm shooting this Sunday and hopefully editing this Sunday, so early next week there will be another YouTube video about a wide, most affordable cinema lens that's wide, for the PYXIS 6K, so hopefully that will come up very soon. Alright, thank you, and goodbye and good night. Thanks.